As the NBA offseason approaches, the buzz around potential player movements has reached a fever pitch. While the league has already seen some seismic shifts, with key trades and player decisions reshaping the landscape, there's one name that continues to dominate the speculation: Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Milwaukee Bucks superstar forward, often regarded as one of the most dominant forces in the game, has yet to make any indication about his future. While the consensus is that Antetokounmpo will likely remain in Milwaukee, the winds of change could still blow in unexpected directions. And, as always in the NBA, surprises are just around the corner. In the past few days, the NBA offseason has already witnessed some surprising moves. One of the most significant moments came when the Houston Rockets managed to retain veteran center Steven Adams. Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic and Memphis Grizzlies set the stage for one of the most shocking trades of the summer. But despite these early headlines, the real intrigue lies in what happens with Antetokounmpo, whose future remains up in the air. The 30-year-old Greek freak is one of the league's most electrifying players and the face of the Bucks franchise. However, as the NBA world waits for his next move, could there be a shocking twist in his saga? Some insiders believe so, and among them is veteran NBA forward Marcus Morris. Appearing on a Yahoo Sports podcast, Morris hinted at a scenario that would send shockwaves through the league: an Antetokounmpo trade to none other than the Boston Celtics. It's very interesting to see that the Celtics are willing to listen to calls on Jaylen Brown and Derek White, Morris said, sparking immediate intrigue. I'm going to tell you that now, that was a little sneaky. Not in the sense of doing bad by the players, but I think that was ahead of the Giannis thing. This bold prediction suggests that Boston may already be preparing for a high-stakes play. Morris further added, "Just think about Giannis in the Boston Celtics jersey and getting ready to gear up with Jayson Tatum to come back. Those are the conversations that I see happening." If the Celtics were to throw their hat into the ring for Antetokounmpo, it would mark one of the most shocking and game-changing trades in recent memory. The Celtics, already one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, could theoretically form one of the most potent duos in the NBA by pairing Giannis with their current star, Jayson Tatum. But the logistics of such a deal are far more complicated than they first appear. For Boston, the financial hurdles are substantial. The Celtics are already walking a tightrope in terms of their luxury tax situation and will need to shed significant salary to avoid hefty penalties. In order to make room for a player like Antetokounmpo, who is set to earn a whopping $54 million next season, the Celtics would likely have to part ways with some of their key contributors. This is where Jaylen Brown and Derek White come into the conversation. Brown, an all-star caliber player in his own right, would be a prime candidate to head to Milwaukee in any potential deal. The question remains, however, whether the Celtics could even pull off such a trade. Given that Antetokounmpo has 3 years left on his current contract, with a player option for the 2026 to 2027 season, it would be a bold gamble for both teams involved. But the potential rewards for Boston would be undeniable. The combination of Giannis and Tatum would make the Celtics instant title contenders for years to come. However, it's important to remember that this is still very much a hypothetical scenario. The Bucks, who have been committed to building around Antetokounmpo for years, are unlikely to part ways with their franchise cornerstone unless something drastic changes. Antetokounmpo himself has repeatedly expressed his desire to stay in Milwaukee, and the Bucks are reportedly doing everything they can to ensure he remains the face of their franchise. Despite the swirling rumors, the reality is that Antetokounmpo's future is not as clear-cut as many would like to believe. The possibility of a Giannis trade is low, but the sheer speculation surrounding it adds a layer of excitement and intrigue to the offseason. As the offseason moves forward, the Bucks' strategy will be under intense scrutiny. Will they build a championship contending roster around Giannis, or will the whispers of a trade grow louder? The landscape of the NBA could change dramatically over the coming months, and with the Bucks facing difficult decisions about their roster, there is still room for surprise. Whether Antetokounmpo remains in Milwaukee or potentially switches allegiances to another contender like the Celtics, one thing is for certain: the 2025 NBA offseason is shaping up to be one of the most captivating in recent memory.